Hey guys, I know it's a different video today, but I mean, I just want to try something different. I have a couple things to say about this one particular game I'm going to be talking about, and hopefully that this new style of game gets, a little more recognition or momentum. Maybe it gives me some more motivation. That's the word. Anyways, you guys ever hear of a game called Dark and Darker? Because I have. I've been playing it. It's not great. So about this game, it's basically a Tarkov style extraction shooter, with like realistic effects and combat and blah 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 blah. But it's D&D, you know. It's like if Tarkov and Mordhau had a baby, but then Mordhau got full custody of the kid, you know? It's a little it's cool. I mean, it's a fun game, it's a fun concept, but the way that this dev company really executes it is not the greatest, you know? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this style of game, but I mean, I that's what I'm starting to think it is, because 39,000 reviews in the past long time and 9,000 recent reviews on Steam, and they're all mostly positive. It's just, to me, maybe it's just not my style of game. It's had a good, comeuppance, and it won the lawsuit against whatever happened a while ago. And, that's good. That's very good. I'm glad that they did that, and I'm glad that they're able to keep going with the game that they're making, because it is a fun concept. It's very cool. I love D&D. D&D is like one of my favorite things. I have hundreds of hours on Baldur's Gate. I even, play a little bit of D&D every now and then whenever people decide to start getting serious about playing D&D, rather than just being like, yeah, let's make characters and then let's not use them. Anyways, so about this game, it's cool, it's fun, atmosphere is awesome, enemies are cool, kind of look a little generic, like, I mean, you can't get any more generic than a skeleton, but I mean, also, it's just a skeleton, you can't really get very creative with those, but they're very cool, they try to make them look good, and I think they look cool. A Dark and Darker is pretty nice. I mean, it's definitely dark in the game, and it can get darker, like Rust dark, like middle of night Rust darkness. It's crazy. It's cool, and that encourages you to use like light sources and stuff, and you can use light sources to hide and turn them off, and I think that's cool. So I think that this game is awesome. Aside for the fact that it's not, because you ever get those dreams where you're running and there's a guy behind you with like a chainsaw or a gun, or like, I don't know, he just recently picked his nose and was like, oh, I got the boogie touch, and then he's chasing after you or something. That, it's kind of like you're running in a dream. That's what it feels like whenever you play this game. It's like you're running in a dream and you just can't move very fast. Not only that, but the combat also feels like you're in a dream, because it feels like you're punching underwater. Everything is just so slow in the game. And maybe that's to balance everything, but like, there's so many skills that go into like action speed, and like that's a stat in the game. It's called like action speed, or like, it's something like that, to where if you have more of that thing, you can interact with things faster. I don't get that. Why don't you just have it where it's like normal interaction speed, or just have it like untampered with? Like, you don't have to have fast interaction speed to do that. You could just have like a base set line and just keep it like that. I think that's just a waste of a stat, in my opinion. Everything in this video isn't just bad and negative stuff. There are some dungeons and dragons in this game. So I mean, that's how you know it's gonna be good. You know, I think that the more dungeons, and maybe even you could even put drakes in there. No, not the pedo drake, just like dragon drakes. There's a difference between dragons and drakes. I don't know if you knew that, but anyways, you could put drakes in there, and it would be even more so like a Dungeons and Dragons game. It'd be very cool. Anyways, there are multiple levels to each dungeon, which I think is cool. You have like a set amount of time to get through a level, and if you don't get through that amount of time, then it either collapses or you escape or you die because you didn't do either. You can't. Damn. You can't. Sorry, there's a motorcycle outside. Just fucking. Anyways, you can do a new level of the dungeon. You can stay in the same session if you have enough resources. Not meaning that you need resources to go in, but like if you feel confident enough to go in there and survive and leave at the same time, then you can go into the new level. They're marked by these red staircases. The blue is for exits. They're marked by these red staircases, and you can just use them to go to new levels of the dungeon and go deeper and deeper and deeper until you want to leave. Which I think is a very cool thing if everything didn't do a billion damage to you. So, I mean, the little goblins are faster than you, which I think is a little weird because they're smaller. Maybe they should be a little slower than us. I mean, I guess not. Is it faster if they're smaller? Or is it slower if they're smaller? Because they can't cover as much ground, but they have smaller legs, so they can take more stuff. I don't know. Either way, the problem with them being faster than you and your attack speed is extremely slow. I think that doesn't really help the fact that you can't even like dodge attacks. If an enemy stabs out to you with a halberd, they're gonna still hit you because the hitbox covers the entire weapon. Same thing with bows. If you're like strafing a bow and arrow, if it hits your ear, it's still gonna hit and do max damage. Like it's a little weird. But maybe that's just how that works. If you're gonna get jumped by like 6 goblins in one room that you spawned in, I would want to be able to attack a little faster, or at least block faster, because the blocking, I've blocked, or at least tried to block, multiple attacks, but my full block stance wasn't up, so therefore I was not blocking, and so it just did full damage to me on whatever they hit me with. And I've died a couple times to that, so maybe I just preemptively block, I guess. And I can't imagine that's any better in like PvP or anything where people actually have brains and they're not, ones and zeros. But like I've only fought people a handful of times, and really I can't find people in the game. Like it's kind of hard to find people, and if you do find people, they hardly even fight. Which I mean, I guess is fine if you don't want to fight, but like it's like if you have a low gear score. By the way, gear score is a bullshit way to do your matchmaking, because if you have a lower gear score, you go into lower levels, like lower level dungeons. But if you have a gear score of 25 or higher, you get put in with all the giga juice super, Homelander motherfuckers who are just like, they see you and then they just like, I don't know what they do, but they just teleport behind you, snap your neck and say, sorry, nothing personal, kid, and then take all your shit. It's like, what? Brody, you're gonna make me get all this cool shit, and then the second I go above, one number above the gear score that, all the good players go in, slash it's also 25, so literally anything that is white or green rarity give you 25. And God forbid you get a blue, you get sent in with all of the super juiced players. So that's awful in terms of like actual PvP and like matchmaking. That's like some of the worst I've seen. Shit, even Destiny PvP matchmaking sucks. But honestly, I think it's better than Dark and Darkers. Another thing that sucks about the game is that it's the same. The menu music. Oh my god, this is my like biggest gripe about the game, other than the movement speed, is that the menu music it's on the same minute and a half, 2-minute loop. And it's the same. And then it just loops over and over and over. Oh my god. The menu music sends me in so much agony. I know friends who don't even care about like menu music or music in general. I'm a big music junkie. I love music. I love listening to music. I love seeing how it's composed. I'm a fucking nerd. But a lot of people don't care about music, and some of my friends are like that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool, good for you. Even they don't like the music, and that's how you know it's bad. It's just, it's so awful. If you're just sitting there in the lobby waiting for your friend to get back and you hear bah, 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 it's just not fun. I sit there and I mute the music, and yeah, you can just mute the music, but there's no music in game, in the dungeons. There's also the 2-minute loop that's in the menu, and that's it. There's nothing else. Nothing. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say on the matter, just because, you know, this game is cool and I like it. It's a cool concept for a game, and I think that, you know, there could be more games like this, or at least more D&D style games that aren't like Baldur's Gate, and it's an actual like first person FPS style game, and I think that'd be cool. But this game is just, it's, despite being out in testing, it was testing about a year ago. I saw Critical play it. It looked cool as like bare bones, but now it just seems like the same thing, but a little better. That's just really all I wanted to have to say on it, because I just feel I wanted to get something out. I wanted to get some sort of video out. I've been kind of just sitting in my room playing Elden Ring and a few other games with my friends and stuff like that. Just kind of wanted to do something different. So I'll try to make more of these. I just don't know like on what games or anything, honestly. But that's kind of just all I wanted to talk about. And maybe some dev will be like, hey, wait, yeah, no, like I thought that was a weird thing that we added to the game. Maybe I'll try to change it at the next meeting or something. Either way, thank you for listening, watching. It's been fun, and hopefully this game gets changed for the future. I don't really have an outro. I think outros are stupid, so